Hello everybody and welcome to the NBL1 Show. Two more women's teams lock in their playoff position. We've got some midweek hoops as well, which we all love, and plenty more to get into. Very special guest who not only is tearing it apart for the team that I said would make the grand final 6 weeks ago, but is also embarking on an NBL season, a new one with the new franchise. We'll get to Dan Trist in a moment, but firstly, Liam Santamaria, hello to you.
Hello. Good to be back in action. You survived without me last week?
Got through it just, and now look at us. It's all downhill. And every single week there's a new team locking in a playoff spot.
Yes.
This week it was 2, which we'll get to very shortly. And of course, we're going to name the teams that will round out the top 8.
Well, one of those...
It's not easy to do.
No, it's not in either side of the thing. But one of those teams are locked in, Ringwood. We've got some things to say about the Hawks. Called their games in Nunawading on Saturday night. Very impressed with what they're doing out there in Ringwood.
Looking forward to that and plenty more, but I did mention our main man, the big man from the Frankston Blues and, of course, South East Melbourne Phoenix, Dan Trist. Welcome to the NBL1 Show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you've had a bit of a splintered year when it comes to Frankston. You're overseas, of course, doing your thing in Spain and, you know, back now with Frankston and you've been away also with South East Melbourne Phoenix, but your boys and the team that I predicted would make a grand final a long time ago, starting to find some form.
Yeah, look, I think we've only... I was talking to... Harmsy about it the other day. I think we've only played 2 games as a full squad together, and recently we've just been on this, this great tear. We started the season, I believe, 1-4 before we had our imports in and everything rolling, and since then I think we've been 9-2. I've been back for 6 games now, and just loving what I'm seeing. We've got a great balance of scoring. We've got some real defensive presences. And yeah, just a great culture. So
just so we're here, there's no use in being humble. So they're 1-4 before you came in, and now you're up to 4th. Is that correct? How many of those first 5 games did you play in?
Come on, man. He's a superstar of the league. Don't put him on the spot like that.
No, look, it was definitely, coming in mid-season, it was definitely about trying to find, a way to help the team in multiple ways and finding those adjustments. And, I think I started out trying to be more of a playmaker and just, connecting guys on the team. And I've sort of found my form a little bit lately scoring the ball. But, look, I think we have a lot of guys who can do a lot of different things, and I'll do whatever it takes for us to win a championship.
Speaking of your form, signed with the South East Melbourne Phoenix this off-season. They're very, very excited to have you on board. And Simon Mitchell has some really positive things to say about you having worked with you at Melbourne United. And there's a lot of people who, and I'm one of them, who watched you in pre-season last year for Melbourne before Josh Boone was in action, going up against Bogut. Super impressive. We're really excited about what you'd bring to the NBL season, and it just didn't pan out for you with United in the rotation. How are you feeling this season with Frankston is preparing you, and what can South East Melbourne Phoenix fans expect from you this season?
Yeah, look, I think, obviously, like you said, I had a great pre-season last year, and sometimes the rotations don't go your way and you kind of get squeezed out of things, and, that happened to me at Melbourne. But a new start, like you said, at Phoenix. And one of the great things about a league like the NBL1 is it gives you a chance to kind of find your form in the off-season and build that confidence going into pre-season. Spain was also great for me for that, but, now I'm focused with Frankston. I'm getting in work with Simon every day, and, yeah, I think it's going to be big.
Here's your chance to look down the barrel of the camera and shout out your 2 coaches that you're working with at the moment, Simon Mitchell and Andrew Harms. Harmsy down there in Frankston. How are you finding those 2 guys? What do you like about them?
Yeah, look, they're both awesome. They both approach the game from a similar standpoint. They're both quite cerebral guys. They think the game a lot. Harmsy's a little more laid back and a little more relaxed when it comes to his demeanour. Simon's a very fiery, energetic guy, and I think that sort of evokes different things from different people. But for me, it's really nice to be able to go into work and have 2 guys you can rely on every day to help you get better and who believe in you.
In the NBL1, both the men's and women's, there's a lot of different factors as into some teams don't have everyone available on certain games. We've got the World University Games right now, which is stripping some teams away. You mentioned yourself being away at the start of the year. There's 3x3 also bobs up at different times. But you mentioned the fact that full roster in only 2 games. How hard has that been for you individually and as a team to try and find form whilst knowing someone might be here this week as away for whatever reason next week and vice versa? Individually and as a team, has it been difficult?
Yeah, look, I think... I was talking to Liam about it before. I think it's a big challenge in a league like NBL1. You have people, going to college, coming back from college, going to play uni games, going to do various things with our off seasons or on seasons. And yeah, I think our team specifically has been great in handling that. I think that's one reason why we're sitting where we are. Is it's been next man up mentality, which is something Harmsy's been talking about the whole time. For me personally, definitely it's a little different. You know, I went to Spain to play, came back to play, went to China to play. So I've been playing the whole time. It's more just a matter of fitting in with the group and finding that chemistry balance.
All right, we might just touch on who's going to make the finals as well. And, of course, you can talk us through this down about teams you have played. Good win on the weekend over Albury-Wodonga. Big one coming up this weekend as well, because Melbourne's one of those teams who've dropped a couple in a row, who we are talking about, Liam, as you look up at the ladder there.
Yep.
Who does make it at the bottom end of that? Obviously, the top four, Ballarat, Nunawading, Geelong and Frankston as it currently sits. Kilsyth dropped one to Dandenong on the weekend. Melbourne, Waverley, Dandenong, Bendigo and Hobart. Who have you got making it from here?
Look, I think, obviously, I think the Tigers are in. But as far as the rest go, we played Dandenong 2 weeks ago now, and I was just a massive fan of their style and their composure. I think they're making it. Waverley, from a personnel standpoint, I think they have everything that you need to make a run. You know, they've got, a great scoring guard in Dylan Travis. They've got a good wing scorer in Benny Lewis, and they've got, the big fella down low. So, look, for me, those are my two picks for the last two spots. But as we all know, it's any man's game in this league, especially come finals time.
I reckon, so Ballarat, Nunawading, Geelong, Frankston, Kilsyth, they're in.
Yep.
Have they all locked in at this point?
There's only one locked-in spot in Ballarat.
We just think that
but we're just thinking that down to 5 will be in the playoffs.
So, looking at who each team's run home, I think Melbourne are likely to finish 11 and 9. I can see them losing to Frankston and Ballarat, but beating Hobart and Eltham.
With you?
Bendigo. Let's jump right down to Bendigo.
I agree.
What are they right now? 8 and 8. I think they beat Diamond Valley, Albury-Wodonga and Knox.
Yeah.
Maybe lose to Geelong. That's 11 and 9. So then I don't think Hobart and below Knox, Thunder and so on and so forth, I think they're going to be in the mix.
I agree.
So the next one to me comes down to Waverley or Dandenong, and they play each other this week. So that to me is a massive, massive game. So Waverley's run home. Dandenong, Ballarat, 2 tough games. Then Knox, Hobart, Northwest Thunder. Dandenong, obviously the Waverley game. Then Albury-Wodonga, Kilsyth and Ringwood. So I think Melbourne and Bendigo will make it one of Waverley and Dandenong, and I'm going to take the winner of this week.
I'm going to say the exact same thing with you. And the thing that's going to hurt Dandenong, I think, is that they're missing guys. We talk about the unique games, and of course Froling, who's had a really good year, and a lot of his players attributed to him getting a gig at the Illawarra Hawks. I just think that Dandenong might be, and we speak about it, uni games, 3x3, whatever the reason is, there's been time-splintered rosters, and I think Dandenong might although they had a great win on Saturday night, they knocked off Kilsyth, and second half in particular, third quarter where they opened it up and were really good. Barker was, I think, 1 rebound off a triple-double. He was brilliant. Koenig Drew had 21. So we're seeing guys who are standing up in their absence, but it is the big one this week. Huge game. And I think you're right. I think Bendigo, with their run home, I think they should beat Diamond Valley, Albury-Wodonga. And they should beat Knox, which is frustrating. Have you played Knox? Have you played against Knox?
Yeah, look, I think Knox has a really talented squad. I think for whatever reason it just hasn't clicked. I mean, they've got 2 legit big guys down low. They've got a great import. They've got some good Australian talent. It's just a matter of finding out how that clicks.
While we're talking about Knox, we've got to shout out Kadarian Rains. Yeah. Because we've been on him a little bit on the show.
We have.
Camp.
And it's been...
he's been killing it.
And you know what?
Mate, since that game in Diamond Valley...
We are on him... Because
we like him.
We should be giving. We think he's got
like
a 20 and 10 in him.
And he's down working out with us at Southeast a lot.
That's helping
a lot. He's a beast. He's a legitimate beast.
I think he's been playing really well since that practice has started. Yeah. And since that game in versus Diamond Valley in late May, he's averaging 15 and 11. We want 20 and 10.
Are we taking credit for this?
Oh, no, we're not. No, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix training.
Take credit for it.
He's had 4 straight double-doubles.
Yep.
Got that win over Ringwood on the weekend.
Blocking a lot of shots.
So we call for him to step up.
They've won a couple in a row as well.
Yeah, well, they have. They've won 3 of their last 4 as well. So shout out.
And a shout out too, because we sit here and we look at, we're trying to work out who's going to make it in the bottom half of both. We'll get to the women's in a moment. But you talk about that Knox game where Bendigo have got to go to Knox. Earlier in the year, we would have probably said Bendigo would win it. Now, we're still saying Bendigo would probably get over Knox, but the way they've played their basketball recently, that changes, and that's the best thing about the NBL1 now. Not only the different rotations at different times, but teams finding their peak at different times has added to the intrigue of this competition.
I don't think that's a gimme. I really don't. I mean, I think they match up well with Bendigo. They've got size down low. They've got athleticism on the perimeter. I think that might be a tough one for me.
Who's the best team?
Hold on, can I just jump in
fire
real
away.
quick? We're talking about Frankston and your great form. You won 9 of your last 11. Bozeman,
Yeah.
26 on the weekend, has been
Unreal.
putting up... It's been a little up and down throughout the season. But I have people ask me, and over the last... Especially, wasn't he up in Queensland last year?
Yep.
He was averaging,
A
over
million
30
points.
a game.
Yeah. And people ask me, is he ready? Is he an NBL guy?
He's legit. I think he's an NBL
For an import
guy.
spot?
Yeah, I think he's an NBL guy, definitely. I think, and, obviously I get to see him, multiple times a week, and he's a great character guy. He works hard. He plays his ass off. I mean, there's not much more you can ask. But when it comes down to the game, there's not really anyone else you'd rather have from a competitor standpoint.
Really?
And yeah, he's the ultimate competitor. He's just a fiery guy. He picks up on defense. I think you look at what Jeremy Kendall's done in the last few years. I think, might be early to say, but I think Bozeman could be the next Jeremy Kendall, picking up that last import spot.
Okay. So Kendall, the last couple of years, been like an injury replacement guy. So if you've got an import guard and he goes down, you should have Bozeman on your radar.
Absolutely. You got to give him a call, 100%.
Right.
Who's the best team you've played? And I know it's a bit different for you because you're
It is different. Yeah, so I missed a lot of the top teams, but...
See, Frankston beat Ballarat without you, didn't they?
See, we have a great team. We have a really, really good team. We're deep,
I've actually upgraded you from making the grand final to winning it.
You should, please.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah. Not just because I'm here, but...
So while you've been here, I know it's hard to comment on teams you might not
Little to no respect for Ballarat, just quite.
I've got plenty of respect for Ballarat.
No, Ballarats an
tough,
amazing team.
but
Because they're 14-2 and you just...
Yeah, but I'm worried about Ballarat.
No, Ballarats...
But you're not picking them to win it. They're 14-2.
Because I'm worried about Kwani going and Akuth not being here as well. I'm still... Are you going to miss any games? Are you 100% going to play?
I'm locked in for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so there's no... Because this is a little bit of what I play into as well, because...
Right.
It's probably a little bit easier for you because you are playing in the
Barring
NBL
something,
in the same city.
barring something...
Yeah, but I mean from... going to pre-season, all the rest of it, it's a bit easier because you're here. That's my concern.
Nunawading, Geelong,
NBL
got some good squads there.
I'm not saying that Frankston are going to just roll
No.
through
When
everyone.
you're Tim Frankston, you're saying they're no good.
Yeah, well, you said they wouldn't even make the playoffs, I think, when they said...
Whoa!
Oh, well, wait, we started
I'm joking,
we
I'm
started
joking.
1-4. We started 1-4. But look,
we knew you were going to come into town.
Who the toughest team I've played so far? That's why I was picking Dandenong because since I've been here, the toughest team I've been on the floor against has been Dandenong. Like we were talking about, they've got Lucas Barker, who is as good as any point guard in NBL1. Tim Lang is very underrated down low. Kenyon and Dexter can both go for 20 on any night. Who I really liked was the 3-4 they had.
Shooter?
No, long athlete. I forget his last name, but he was a young...
Oh, yeah, Lepepe.
No.
He didn't like Lepepe.
Tall, skinny. No, I didn't get to play against him, but he's obviously great. He's with the under-19s team, but just was back cutting, was getting to the rim, was rebounding. They hunt the glass aggressively. They do a lot of things that you really want to see from a championship team.
Wow, and they might miss.
Look, they've got a tough schedule. They really do. But, Waverley and Kilsyth are tough, but I think they should get Albury. I think they should get Ringwood. If they get in, I think they're someone you don't want to play.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Knox and Ringwood in the women's side of it did lock down their playoff spots over the weekend, and we'll start with Ringwood because you were there when they took on Nunawading on Sunday night. What did you make of them?
Well, I liked them.
Yeah.
I liked them a lot. Here's the highlights from their loss,
They lost
to Knox.
So this is Knox locking in their playoff spot on Sunday.
But this is a 3-point loss on the road.
Oh, Whittle bang.
In a doubleheader. Whittle was big, 26-9. She's a gun.
Knox did about Lauren Scherf as well, who of course is in that university, who was on the show last week. So that is impressive.
She's at the Uni Games team.
Yeah.
They didn't have her. Well, there you go. That is
a big win.
So, and it snapped a 4-game winning streak of Ringwoods. Because they beat Nunawading on the Saturday night. And called that game. Was super impressed. That Nunawading squad has a lot of talent. Antoniadu, D'Angelo, Pizzi. You talk about Kathleen Shear, and it was the NBL1 debut of Maddie Garrick.
And how'd she go?
She went pretty well. Yeah. She had a couple of... She's a stud.
Unbelievably.
Right? Absolute stud. She had a couple of not wide open looks, but good looks to sort of... I don't know whether it was tie the game or go ahead very, very late. She wasn't able to knock those down, but they bounced back and she had a good game and they smashed Diamond Valley. She's going to be really, really good the rest of the way, and she's going to have a lot to say in the finals. But Ringwood, a team that has come up from the Big V. They're really good, and I was super impressed with their two imports, Cassidy Mahalko, who's a bucket getter, kind of in that Chelsea Schweers kind of vein, and Megan Mullings, the big, who is just high energy, really tough to play against. Her matchup with Shear was fun to watch. But also, shout out to their captain, Danny Bone, who, I don't know, what does she have, 16? But she was one of those players that just made key plays at key times, stuffed the stat sheet, and she was really impressive. And this was one of those teams where we've been watching their results and their box scores throughout the season. I haven't really watched many of their games, but to go and watch them in person was super impressed with how they went about it.
All right, we know we have 4 women's teams that are locked in for the playoff action. Still 4 spots remaining. Just look at the ladder there, Liam. Who have you got making it from here? Nunawading, Kilsyth, Dandenong, Albury-Wodonga, Melbourne and Eltham, if you want to go down, and Waverley, Hobart, Frankston and Ballarat. Who have you got making it? Who do we agree? We agree on Nunawading will make it.
Let's lock in Nunawading and Kilsyth.
Yes.
Are we happy with that?
Yeah,
Kilsyth's run home. Hobart, they got games against Hobart, Launceston and Frankston.
Yeah, so you'd probably, depending on, like Frankston, so much, Steph Reid, of course, is the barometer.
She's
their main weapon. She's away, so the Frankston next couple of weeks.
And I just don't know about Frankston from here on out. They just feel like a team that's, with all due respect to your women's team, Dan, that's on a little bit of a slide the rest of the way.
5 and 6, we're locking in Nunawading and Kilsyth. I think that's fair enough.
I think Melbourne have a good chance to win out from here.
Yeah, I agree.
They're playing really well. Well, Tomlinson putting up humongous numbers. They play Frankston, Hobart, Ballarat, Eltham. Eltham's right there. They can be really tough.
Whoever wins that last game between Melbourne and Eltham will definitely make it, I reckon.
Jeez, hold on. Eltham. Hold on. Eltham play Nunawading as well.
But they play Albury-Wodonga. I think they'll beat Albury-Wodonga if Alice gets going, and I think they'll beat the COE as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think they'll have a couple in a row. Now,
Dandenong could be in a bit of trouble.
See, Dandenong are missing players as well. So they're
Cole.
a little bit down. Beck Cole, of course, she's still in Europe.
They've lost 5 of their last 6, the Rangers. So anyway, I'm going with Nunawading, Kilsyth.
And they've got Kilsyth and Ringwood to go as well, 2 teams who you think will definitely play in the playoffs.
I think Nunawading, Kilsyth, Melbourne, and I think Dandenong just scrape in there. What do you think?
I agree with that. I think Eltham's going to get the last spot.
I think Eltham will get the last
Dandenong
spot as well.
or Melbourne?
I think over Dandenong. I think it's going to be Kilsyth, then Melbourne, and then Eltham. I just think Eltham's got a lot of weapons. Like you said, Schweers she's phenomenal. She's a bucket.
I think Schweers will take, Alice Koenig will take a little bit of a fair bit of pressure off Chelsea Schweers, and I reckon with their run home, I think Nunawading will finish 5th. Kilsyth, Melbourne, and Eltham. I reckon Dandenong and Albury-Wodonga will just miss, considering Albury-Wodonga have Eltham this weekend, which is going to be huge. Then they've got Bendigo, and then they've got Knox in the last game for Albury-Wodonga.
So have you got Eltham making it over Dandenong?
Yes, I've got Dandenong and Albury-Wodonga.
Because you're forgetting that Beck Cole is the MVP of this league. She's not going to get the award.
I agree.
She's going to come back from Europe, refreshed. She's been having a great time travelling with the family.
When's she back, though?
In our mid-season year, I called her the MVP, and then there was a
she's the best. She's the best. She's the most important player to her team in the league.
I agree.
She's going to come back. They might go down this week to Waverley if she's not there. Then she's going to come back and they're going to run the table and they'll make it.
Is she back after this week?
Don't know.
We have no idea. She's still, judging by her Instagram, she's still... I don't know. I think she's on a family holiday.
Let us know. The Rangers need you.
You're right.
Holiday, man.
Don't worry about the Rangers. We need you to find out who we're going to
We need
predict.
her back. Dan's doing a great job, but we need to bring Beck back onto the seat at some point.
You know the best thing about this, and we've discussed this almost every single week, it is such an intriguing competition where we sit here, and we're not saying with any great certainty who is going to be in the 8, and with the women's side of it, you've got just WNBL stars left, right and centre and teams that are battling and scraggling just to make the bottom half of the 8. That's huge, and men in a similar situation as well. And that's the best thing about NBL1, and it seems to change on a weekly basis.
We talked about the Ringwood women before, and I'm going to talk about them partly because I saw them. I was there and I called the game. But Ringwood men, they're 17th, 5 and 12. Early in the season, we thought, oh, geez, keep an eye on this team. You called a game of theirs, double overtime win over
Ringwood and Eltham.
And you and Worthing came back from that saying, oh, they've got these 2 import guards, they've got Adrian Sturt, and this is a squad that could make a bit of noise. But with injuries and the like, guys in and out of the lineup, certainly, is it Jacob Gibson? I think the average is 21 a game. and he's been hobbled with knee tendonitis. And as a result, their season has really slid away, but they very nearly beat Nunawading at full strength on Saturday night. Took them right down to the buzzer. Really, they owned the game for most of it. Super coaching job by Ken Harrington and his staff, and they played really well. And I like seeing those teams like that their season is falling away. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they're still playing at a high level.
Talk about a team like that, Southern. I mean, talk about a team that you don't necessarily know what they're going to bring week to week, but if they bring it, they could beat anyone on the ladder.
Well, you look at the weekend, Reece Carter 21, McDaniel had 15 and 12, and they knocked off Waverley, who, traditionally in sport we get to this end of the year and it's like, oh, what have Southern got to play for? And that's why you would tip a Waverley team in the battle for the playoffs, and it's not the way it panned out.
You know, they've got Barlow, they've got McDaniel.
Yep.
If Reece is playing well, like it's a tough squad.
The highlights of Reece Carter's three-point shooting and his celebrations was very nice.
And the thing,
turn back the clock.
Injuries and family holiday, talking about Reece Carter as well. He hasn't been there consistently, but we know how talented and how tough he is to play against. So.
And he brings other things to that team too. I mean, he's a leader. He's almost an assistant coach in that team, and I think solidifies them when he's there.
So another team that did that a little bit on the weekend was Diamond Valley, nearly beating Ballarat in Ballarat. That was a team that for a period of time in the season was really doing well. Diamond Valley, they beat Kilsyth in Kilsyth.
First loss too, I think, or second one.
I think Southern beat them, and then still right up there, and they're still battling away. So it was a good effort by them on the weekend.
All right, this weekend going to be a big one at NBL1 to get involved on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Of course, on YouTube for all the games, including our game of the week this weekend. Don't forget tomorrow night, well, Wednesday night, Ballarat and Geelong is going to be a big one as well. Always that country Victoria or regional Victoria rivalry. What are you most looking for? In fact, we'll ask you, Dan, because you're playing. You've got a double-header this weekend. Melbourne and Southern. Speaking of Southern, of course, Melbourne are in that dogfight as well. What do you make of this weekend?
I think, it's such a cliche make or break, but...
It's two home games too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big weekend.
It is a bit of a cliche, but I think for us it's definitely, it's crunch time, make or break, whatever you want to call it. 2 home games heading into finals. If we can, get both these two, it goes a long way to locking in a top 4 spot, which, like we talked about earlier, gives you 2 bites at the apple when it comes to finals. So I think, we need to get both, and we need to get both at home.
In particular, got Geelong and Nunawading just right above you right now. Geelong got a tough one against Ballarat, as we've touched on, and Nunawading are taking on Knox. I think it might be it's at Knox, and Knox are playing a lot better now or their best right now. So tricky games for the two teams that are right around you as well.
Well, Geelong's a game ahead of us. They've played one more game than us as well. So if they drop this one and we win 2, it's a big weekend.
I spoke about Ringwood. That's no gimme for them on the Saturday night, Geelong, either on the road after playing at home against Ballarat, after playing in Ballarat on the Wednesday night. So they've got a bit of a break, but that's going to be a tough game. Waverley and Dandenong in the men for me. We talked about it earlier. The finals implications.
Big game.
So huge game on Sunday afternoon.
2:30 at Waverley. All right. Anything else for you, Liam? Stand out before we get out of here?
In the women, Knox versus Nunawading on Saturday night, 3rd versus 5th. Nunawading trying to get Maddie Garrick into and immersed and assimilated into the team. They got a win over Diamond Valley. They're coming off that, so that's going to be a good one to watch. And also Ringwood and Geelong, 1st versus 4th. On Saturday night at the Rings.
And you keep talking about, and we have spoken all year about teams stepping up from Big V, going particularly well, and none's done it better in this year than Ringwood women. And sometimes it's unfair to keep saying, how far can they go?
Knox women just quietly as well.
Knox women as well. So there you go, 2 teams from Big V last year, but Ringwood will get a real opportunity to take on the benchmark of the competition this weekend at home, which is always adds to the excitement.
A couple of shout-outs.
Shout out.
A man here, nice little double-double on the weekend.
Thank you.
What about the 2 lines, one from Luella Tomlinson. We mentioned it before, 28 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists and 4 blocks. She was balling in that win over Launceston.
Then backed it up with 9, 11 and 6, I see the next day as well, and they just lost to Hobart.
And also for Ballarat, this Ballarat women's team, their season was going nowhere for the first half of the year, but have come really good in the second half. And that was a good win over Diamond Valley. Took care of business. Snapped a bit of a losing streak. But Jenkins, the import, 26 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds and 5 steals. Stat sheet stuffing supreme.
Anything else?
That's probably
Done?
it.
Beautiful.
Barlow, nearly a triple-double.
Yeah.
Reece Carter with 21.
Well, we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Ray Turner, big numbers. Lots of good performances.
A lot going on. At NBL1 to get involved, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Dan, thank you for coming in, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Good luck for
man.
the rest of the year. Now, I have said you're going to win it from here, so you're definitely not going to miss games, are you?
No, and we have to win all the games now.
Yeah, there
you said
go.
it, so.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfectly done. On that note, get involved on Twitter, YouTube as well. Check it all out. Until next week, see ya.